I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go, the only thing that I know. You were my gravity, but now I have to leave. I will let you go. Why do you feel that I want? What do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity. I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome here as we get set for qualifying in our final race of the season, Season 7 of the NNSCRA Duracell Next Gen Cup Series. Getting ready for our championship doubleheader here this weekend in the Irish Hills. We first got to set the field for tomorrow's Cup Series race. We now know the 4 drivers that will be battling it out for the championship here this season. 4 drivers that have never won the championship. 1 driver that's coming in clinching the Rookie of the Year championship and would love to be able to have a championship sweep. A driver that has never been in the Final 4 before. A driver that comes in as the defending Daytona 500 winner. And a driver that is looking to make it 3 seasons in a row where the S3 Motorsports organization hoists the championship trophy. 43 drivers here this weekend at Michigan. 42 will make the show. The 3 non-charter drivers vying for the final 2 spots will be in the second of our 2 groups here in round 1. Top 5 from each one of our respective rounds will move on to the Fast 10 to run for the pole position. The entirety of the round of 8, we ended up having only 1 playoff contender make it into the Fast 10. Casey Hoyt at both Boston and at Daytona. Jessica Shelton last week at Rockingham. But this week it's going to be all about those 4 remaining playoff drivers that are hunting for the championship. Casey Hoyt, Dylan Poteet, Jessica Shelton, and Matthew Rodriguez. The highest finisher of those 4 at the conclusion of tomorrow afternoon's event will end up being the champion. We got another champion to decide later on this afternoon. Duracell Light Series drivers are here. 4 drivers in the conversation for that one. The 2 main drivers that we're focused on, just based on the mathematics, would be Eric Monaco and Benny Watson, but Austin Reed and Kyle Langland still have a mathematical shot also. Find out who's going to not only win the inaugural Duracell Ultra Light Series Championship, but get a guaranteed chartered ride in next season of Duracell Next Gen Cup Series competition. Cody Lamas, top of the board for a brief moment as more laps start to clock in. Cody Lamas coming into this one 28th in the point standings, 4 top 5s, 8 top 10s. His second full-time season with the Llama Racing organization. Returning next season and hoping for more success. Continuing the growing pains as an owner-driver. Going to finish much better in the point standings this season than he did last year. But still looking for that first victory as an owner-driver as well. Behind him, Levi McIntyre, career year for him. The tough break for Levi McIntyre was the fact that he didn't make it into the playoffs, but he is a 2-time winner on the season with victories at Pocono and Hanford. Arizona rather, was where his second win was at, and looking to close out the season as a 3-time winner. Now, Reese Banks got eliminated from the playoffs last week It was super, super close around that cut line. 4 drivers were separated by a total of, actually make that 5 drivers were separated by a total of 6 points. Matthew Rodriguez and Jessica Shelton just barely made their way in. 1 point below the cut line was Reese Banks, 2 below the cut line was Jesse Turner, and 6 below the cut line was Ryan Butcher. It was really, really close there amongst those drivers as to who was going to transfer in and who was not. But despite the fact that he hasn't gone to victory lane, he had a victory last year at Talladega and no victories this season. This has been a career, obviously, for Reese Banks, who comes into this race 5th in overall points and would like to finish out in the 5th position, the highest of the drivers that got eliminated after the round of 8. There's one of our playoff contenders. I think we've got 2 playoff drivers here in this first group and then 2 playoff drivers in the second group. Casey Hoyt and Dylan Poteet, the 2 drivers in this first group. Casey Hoyt, unbelievable season he has had as a rookie. Came in, burst on the scene, got the early victory at Manassas, then followed up with 2 more victories during the course of the season. 3-time winner. Highest average finish of any driver. He actually lessened his average finishing position even more after a solid outing last week at Rockingham. He's the only driver with a sub-17th place average finish on the year. 2 poles and leading the rookie point standings. The total coming into this race was 16 points over Will Goss. No way mathematically that Goss would be able to challenge him, so Casey Hoyt, before he even takes the green flag here tomorrow afternoon, he will be your Season 7 Duracell Cup Series Rookie of the Year. He's 5th on the board right now, in line to be able to move on and run for the pole position. Dylan Poteet was up near the top of the leaderboard in the early stages of this one. Oh, looks like actually we got 3 of our playoff contenders here in this first group. I thought Matthew Rodriguez was in Group B, but he's here in Group A also. Matthew Rodriguez right now 19th on the board. Michigan, not necessarily a track. I think the track position is going to be all that important. I'm going to go back and during the course of between today and tomorrow, check and see where our previous race winners end up starting from to see if that holds true. But Rodriguez is trying to do something in many regards that has never been done in the Duracell Cup Series before. Number 1, he's trying to win the Daytona 500 and the championship in the same season. Now, we have had former Daytona 500 winners win the championship, but not in the same year. Carson Gum has a 500 and championship. Chris Dollerton has a 500 and championship, but that occurred for each one of them in different seasons. Rodriguez won the season opener at Daytona, and he's looking to close it out with the championship here tomorrow. Matthew Rodriguez is also trying to do something that's never been done and be the first starting out the season non-charter driver to win a championship. Remember, Rodriguez was supposed to be a part-timer. He was only supposed to run the super speedways in his part-time effort with Haas Racing. After winning the 500, big conglomerate effort, collective effort, a lot of different teams opened up the seat for him to be able to try and make all the races this year. It wasn't always successful. He missed 6 races during the course of this season. But the other statistic that stands out that Rodriguez could maybe do is he just jumped up to 5th on the board, by the way. He's now into the Fast 5. He would be the first driver, if he's to win the championship, to do it, driving 3 different manufacturers during the course of the season. He drove the Toyota, of course, for Haas Racing, the Ford out of Bishop Family Racing, and now the Chevrolet at the close of the season for Northeast Motorsports. Remember, for Matthew Rodriguez, if he had gotten eliminated back in the round of 17, in the round of 8, in the round of 12, that would have been it. He would have been done. He would have retired at that point in time, and they would have had to find somebody to fill in the number 24 for the rest of the season. But he's made it here to the finale and has got a shot of being the champion. Dylan Poteet, this has been an absolute career year for him. 2 victories on the season. Of course, got that victory during the playoffs as well to be able to advance further into the playoffs. Had the best finish of the playoff contenders last week at Rockingham, finishing up inside of the top 5. Right now, though, he is 20th on the board in terms of the speed charts, and he's only got about 1 minute and 30 seconds left to work with, trying to advance his way into the Fast 5. Casey Hoyt, who was up in the Fast 5, has since dropped all the way down to 17th, And Matthew Rodriguez has leapfrogged them both. He is currently 5th, just behind Will Goss, Dylan Young, Mitchell Collins, and Ryan Brommer, who right now would be in line to move on to the next round of the qualifying. Poteet just ran 36.880, jumping from 20th up to 12th. Let's see if he's maybe got something here in the closing stage to get him up into the Fast 5. Matthew Rodriguez is the driver currently sitting on the bubble spot. "45 seconds here. Should be able to turn at least one more lap, maybe two. No improvement on the lap time there for Dylan Poteet. Michael Norman there in the 22 just recently was going over and updating the all-time wins list, and a couple of drivers that won during the playoffs here and down the home stretch of the regular season have moved their way up into the top 5 in overall Duracell Cup Series wins. Ryan Butcher, with his victory near the close of the regular season, now has 9 career victories. That ties him for second most with Jordan Lopez. Michael Norman's victory at Chatham was his 8th Duracell Cup Series career victory, so that has him sitting alone in 3rd. And then Nick Gunther, who went to victory lane last week for his 2nd time this season, he now has 7 career wins, but puts him in a 4-way tie for 5th most with Carson Gum, Dylan Young, and Jesse Turner. Of course, Nick Gunther, 4 wins last year and 2 wins this year, and had the first career win back in Season 5 at Bristol Dirt. Jesse Turner, one of those drivers that was right there in the conversation, 2 points out of advancing here into the Final 4. One of 4 drivers that got eliminated from the playoffs last week, along with Reese Banks, his teammate, Ryan Butcher, and Zach Rogers. Right now, Jesse Turner is the slowest on the track at a 37.210, which was the fastest lap that he just ran, his last lap. Let's see if we get another lap of scoring here. He's going to get some nice draft off of Keith Batson and Caleb Fogler. Nope, lap time does not count. As you see, session is concluded. And it looks like Matthew Rodriguez improved another spot. He went up to 4th place. So Matthew Rodriguez will advance into the final 10 to run for the pole position. He'll have some pretty good starting track position for tomorrow. Dylan Poteet improved up to 13th, and Casey Hoyt just ahead of him in 12th. So at least we know that for 3 of our playoff contenders, they will start in at least the top 10 for Rodriguez. Hoyt would start in 23rd, and Poteet would start in 25th. We still have to wait and see where Jessica Shelton would slot in after all this. She's going to be in the 2nd group coming up. How about Young Motorsports? Some pretty fast Fords here this weekend with Will Goss and Dylan Young top of the board. Mitchell Collins, our winner from Daytona a couple of weeks ago, another blue oval up there in 3rd. Then Rodriguez, the highest Chevrolet. Ryan Brommer, the highest Toyota, in 5th. Those 5 drivers will be running for the pole position here in just a few moments. We got to find out the other 5 drivers that they will be contending with here in the 2nd group. So don't go anywhere. We'll take a quick NNSCRA TV race break and then be back here for Group B of Round 1 for qualifying in our season finale here at Michigan. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed your watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. Group B gets ready to set their qualifying laps here in round 1 of qualifying. Fast 5 move on to run for the pole position. 1 playoff driver here in this group. We already know Matthew Rodriguez is moving on to the Fast 10. Jessica Shelton will look to join him. We know Poteet and Poteet and Hoyt did not make it into the Fast Five back in the first group, as we look at Carson Gum, the former champion, heading out onto the racetrack. Carson Gum has been very good the last couple of weeks in terms of qualifying. Has raced his way into the Fast 10 in the last couple of weeks. Going to be the final race, at least that we know of for the time being, for Fortnite Squad Racing in the Chevrolet Camaros. They'll be moving over to the 2024 Toyota Camry XSE next season with Carson Gum and Dylan Poteet. So Poteet trying to win the championship for Fortnite Squad Racing in their potential last year as a Chevrolet team. 3 non-charter drivers that we'll keep track of here, vying for the final 2 available spots in tomorrow's starting lineup. Our full-time drivers, Kyler Sustre and Reggie Fogelman, and then Jordan Lopez attempting to qualify here this weekend. The former champion, 9-time Duracell Next Gen Cup Series winner. Fastest 2 of those 3 drivers will be the ones that will make the field. Carson Gum just now clocking in 39.045. Speed starting to cycle in here. Zachary Fitzwater right behind Carson Gum. Fitzwater going to be moving to a new team next year, taking over the number 83 out of Blue Oval Automotive for Chris Dollerton, who's not returning to the team. Fitzwater moving over there with Evans Motorsports closing up. They had a couple of shots of going out as a championship team. Rob Evans got eliminated back in the round of 12, and Zach Rogers most recently eliminated after the conclusion of the round of 8. See if we can find the 94 of Jessica Shelton. There she is. Shelton suffered a DNF at Daytona while running up inside of the top 10. Came into the race last week at Rockingham as one of the drivers that kind of had to approach it as a must-win situation. Worked her way up through the field, finished inside of the top 10, and was able to garner enough points where she and Matthew Rodriguez tied for 3rd place. That was enough for her to be above the cut line and advance here into this championship for Jessica Shelton. We talked about all the different accolades that Matthew Rodriguez is trying to do. How about what Jessica Shelton is trying to do? Trying to get Dodge its first championship. Be the first time that a project car would end up winning the championship. And also, Jessica Shelton, the biggest one. We've never had this happen. I mean, last year we had never had a back-to-back organization championship. But now Shelton looking to extend the streak to 3 straight seasons where an S3 Motorsports car gets the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series Championship. It was a conglomerate of Kyle Matthews, Caleb Fogler, and Stephen Pollard III back in Season 5. Fogler was the one that closed out the deal here at Michigan that weekend. Charles Sanford last year won the championship. And this season, Jessica Shelton looking to do the same. Right now, Shelton is 7th on the board, so she is not yet in line to advance into the Fast 5, along with Matthew Rodriguez to run for the pole position. Jose Mills, most winningest driver in the Duracell Cup Series, 10-time winner. At this point, not looking like he's going to be returning to the series, so you look at drivers like Michael Norman and Carson Gum, Dylan Young, Jesse Turner, Nick Gunther that we know are returning to the series. His all-time wins lead could be in jeopardy next season. As right now he's 12th on the board. The Central Michigan University sponsorship here as we're here in the state of Michigan. Right now, Kyler Sustre would be the driver that would not make the field. Reggie Fogelman's currently in the Fast Five in 5th, and Jordan Lopez is one position up on Sustre in 16th. Sustre needs to find a little bit more speed. Lopez at a 38.047, Sustre at a 38.281. There's last week's winner, two-time winner on the season, Nick Gunther. Now, Nick Gunther's first win this year took place at Auto Club, the regular season finale. 2-mile speedway / super speedway. Michigan is considered a sister track. And so Nick Gunther, coming off the heels of the momentum of the victory last week at North Carolina Speedway, you got to think he's one of the drivers people will be looking at tomorrow afternoon to maybe go for 3 victories on the season. As Jordan Lopez, the former champion, right in front of him there, trying to qualify his way into the field, and now he's going to be in the same group as Kyler Sustre. Lopez actually improved his lap time a little bit there, now 17th on the board, Sustre in 19th, and as soon as I say that, Lopez now drops down to 18th with Sustre in 19th. No, correction, Jordan Lopez just jumped to 2nd on the board. 36.922 for the former champ. The 4th entry out of Blue Oval Automotive. And that may have just secured himself a spot in the field tomorrow afternoon. So now it comes down to Kyler Sustre and Reggie Fogelman for the final spot. Top of the board right now is Ryan Butcher. Got eliminated from the playoffs last week. Got to credit Ryan Butcher and what he was able to do last week, because he came into that race below the cut line because of an engine failure that took place on the pacing lap at Daytona. Never even got to take the green flag. And he was able to battle back, finish around, I think it was the 13th position, and ended up a total of 6 points below the cut line. I didn't think he'd even get that close. Ryan Butcher looking to end out the season strong. Another driver that is looking like he might not be returning to the series in Season 8. And he just got dropped to 2nd on the board. Not sure who it was went top of the board there to topple him. It was Nathan Ormond with a 36.740. Nathan Ormond looking for his 2nd win on the season here. Won at Watkins Glen. It's been a struggling year for Nathan. Nathan is dead last of the full-time drivers in overall points, 42nd in points, despite having that checkered flag. His numbers don't look terrible, 6 top 5s and 8 top 10s with that victory, but the biggest hit for him is that he has a 25th place average finishing position. Also bear in mind he missed a few races. He ended up failing to qualify for both Mid-Ohio and Suzuka. Quentin Moore. He's been doing pretty well the last couple of weeks as Quentin Moore. 3rd on the board right now at a 36.824. Quentin Moore in his 2nd full-time season with Joanna Atwood Motorsports. Got that victory back in his rookie season, Season 6 at Dover, and he is returning back to the 89 for Joanna Atwood Motorsports for a 3rd full-time season next year. Well, there's the outgoing champion, Charles Sanford. Sanford was hoping to defend his title here this year, but didn't manage to make it into the playoffs. Only 2 top 5s on the year for him. It's, I guess we could kind of call it that championship slump that we always seem to have happen. I think the only driver that's been able to combat that in Duracell Cup Series was Kyle Matthews from Season 5 to Season 6 when he was able to make it back into the playoffs. Charles Sanford is 27th in overall points coming into this one. And Reggie Fogelman just ahead of him. Keep saying this, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Reggie Fogelman full-time with Haas Racing next season. I feel that he's going to be very strong ever since he moved over here to get acquainted with the equipment. Even though it is the older Toyota body, he'll be in the 2024 Toyota body next season. But he has put together some really good numbers. He's 25th in points. He ended up jumping up 4 spots in the standings last week at Rockingham. He's qualified into every event. And it looks like right now he is in danger of not advancing into this event, as he is third of the non-charter drivers. Jordan Lopez is third. Kyler Sustre is seventh. So this may end up being Reggie Fogelman's first missed race of the season, as time is running out for him. Jose Mills in the 38 is the cut line driver right now, in the 5th position, right behind the fastest car in this session, that being Nathan Ormond, Ryan Butcher, Jordan Lopez, and Quentin Moore currently in the Fast 5 to run for the pole. With zeros on the clock, that might be the 5 drivers that we'll have moving on to join the Fast 5 from Group A, and indeed, there it is. Session is concluded. So Jordan Lopez, the former champion, he will make the field, and he will run for the pole position. Kyler Sustre clocked in at 7th place with a 36.841. So those two will make the show. Reggie Fogelman, for the first time this season, will not make the start here in the season finale. Jessica Shelton in the 94 clocked in at 11th place. So it looks like she, Poteet, and Hoyt are all going to be starting pretty close to each other around the mid-pack area, maybe somewhere between 20th to 25th for all 3 of those drivers. We know Rodriguez is moving on to run for the pole position. And how about Nathan Ormond? Great run for him here. Ryan Butcher, Jordan Lopez, Quentin Moore, and Jose Mills, 3 Fords, 1 Toyota, and 1 Chevrolet. I believe we had 3 Fords, 1 Toyota, and 1 Chevrolet advance in the first group as well. So kind of ironic there. See all the drivers and where they're going to be starting here. The only driver on this list that will not qualify into the field would be the 80 of Reggie Fogelman. So now we've got 5 drivers from Group A. We've got 5 drivers from Group B. Let's head now to our final round of qualifying, see who's going to be starting our finale here in Season 7 at Michigan from the pole position. Right after this race break, final round of qualifying coming up. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed your watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. All right, final round of qualifying here from Michigan. Our Fast 10, 5 from Group A, 5 from Group B, ready to run for the pole. With all the accolades Matthew Rodriguez has had here this season, and in the hunt for the championship, he has yet to start a race from the inside of the front row. He's looking for his first pole on the year. Ryan Butcher, he is looking for his 3rd. Dylan Young is looking for his first on the season. Will Goss, he's looking for his 2nd. Mitchell Collins is looking for his 2nd. Jose Mills looking for his 3rd. Ryan Brommer, he's looking for his 2nd. Quentin Moore is looking for his 1st. And Nathan Ormond is looking for his 2nd. This is going to be the 3rd start of the season for Jordan Lopez. 1 top 10 in those 2 starts, and he is also looking for his first pole on the season. Nathan Ormond, fastest of the Group B drivers, at a 36.740. Interesting, most of the time when we end up having these separate groups, the second group ends up running faster lap times than Group A. Not the case here. As a matter of fact, Nathan Ormond, the fastest lap that he set down was a full 10th slower than the 5th fastest lap in Group A put down by Ryan Brommer. So the track appears to be slowing down a little bit here. Don't know if it's the weather conditions that might have been leading to that, but now with only 10 drivers out there at this 2-mile speedway, it's going to come down to timing of when drivers coming off pit road try and get that draft like Nathan Ormond's trying to do right here off the 2 of Dylan Young. And right there is the problem. Dylan Young going to pull right down in front of him, take a little air off the nose, get him tight. That's going to affect his lap time here. He should improve. Somebody did top him just a moment ago, but he battled back to the 38.302. See who that driver was that challenged him for the top spot. It was Will Goss, who was the fastest in Group A at a 36.424. Despite the fact that he's not going to win Rookie of the Year honors, great full-time rookie season for Will Goss. Of course, got the ride here with Young Motorsports, winning the Showcase Championship last season. 2 trips to victory lane here this year. Currently in line to finish inside of the top 15 in overall points. He's done a great job there in this race car, and we know that this particular team will be rebranded to the 02. Destin Bolin will be moving over to this car in Season 8. Still uncertain as to who the number 12 car is going to be driven by. Quentin Moore is top of the board right now. And he just improved his lap time. Went from a 37.6 to a 37.445. Quentin Moore, I believe the last time that Quentin Moore started a race from the pole was when he won his first career race back at Dover last season. Crosses over Will Goss there. Right now, Moore and Goss, the 2 fastest, would be the front row unless something changes. Goss clocked in 37.640 last time by. 6th fastest right now is Ryan Brommer, who improved right there to a 38.326. Now, still P6, but a faster lap time. Improvement there for Will Goss to a 37.616, but that is still about a 10.5 slower than Quentin Moore's lap. Jordan Lopez right now 8th fastest on the board. Ryan Butcher is last of the 10 drivers. Matthew Rodriguez right now 6th fastest at a 38.225. 5th fastest right behind him, Jose Mills. So Rodriguez in line, well, I was going to say was in line for starting top 5. Now he's dropped down to 7th. Somebody just leapfrogged him. Looked like it might have been Dylan Young, who just clocked in at a 37.814 and ran faster that time, 37.793. No difference on the starting spot, though. Nathan Ormond right now 5th fastest. Ryan Brommer jumped up the 3rd fastest in this group with Will Goss and Quentin Moore, 36.858. And Will Goss actually took the pole position back from Quentin Moore at a 36.683. Bettering Quentin Moore's 7.23, so 4 100ths. Oh, somebody else just topped him. Now it's Ryan Brommer who's got the fastest lap, 36.573. That is a full, 10th and 100th. So Ryan Brommer getting a draft off of Jordan Lopez there. Looks like his Toyota may be the one that leads us to green here tomorrow afternoon, as he's going to go up the gut there between his teammate Ryan Butcher and Jordan Lopez. Looks like times have ceased to be scored. Ryan Brommer looks like he's going to capture his 2nd pole of the season, and indeed he will. 22nd in points coming into this race, still looking for that first victory on the season. And Ryan Brommer will have the final pole of the year for Toyota, as he'll have a Ford alongside of him in Will Goss, 2nd place. Quentin Moore in 3rd. So Toyota, Ford, Chevy, the top 3. Dylan Young leads a plethora of Fords from 4th down back down through 6th with himself, Nathan Ormond, and Jose Mills. Matthew Rodriguez, he is going to be the highest starting playoff driver. He will be 7th tomorrow afternoon. We know that Dylan Poteet, Jessica Shelton, and Casey Hoyt all going to be starting mid-pack. Jordan Lopez, who locked himself into the field, advancing into the Fast 5, the former champ, is going to line up 8th, and then Mitchell Collins and Ryan Butcher are going to be the completion of the top 10. I noted that we talked about a couple of young motorsports making the field, but how about a couple of Fords out of Michael Norman Motorsports, a couple of Fords out of Blue Oval Automotive, and a couple of Toyotas out of Auto Junction Racing, all making it up here into the Fast 10 to run for the pole. But Ryan Brommer in the Twix Toyota Camry, he's going to be the one to lead us to green here tomorrow. Can he close it out to pick up his first victory of Season 7? We're going to have to wait and find out. So that sets our grid for tomorrow afternoon. We now know the starting lineup. We just don't know the finishing results and who's going to be the champion for the 7th season of the NNSCRA Duracell Next Gen Cup Series. We'll find that out tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to stay tuned here. Later on this afternoon, another championship going to be decided. It's the Duracell Ultra Light Series Championship race here from Michigan. 4 drivers in the hunt for that one. Eric Monaco, Benny Watson, they've been fisticuffs for that points lead all season long. Kyle Langland and Austin Reed, a couple of long shots, want to get into that conversation mathematically. Should be a good one as we got our own little Final Four there with the Lights drivers. Remember, a championship on the line, but also a guaranteed Season 8 Duracell Cup Series chartered ride for the champion. And we've seen what Will Goss was able to do as the showcase champion from last season here this season with his 2 trips to victory lane and advancing into the playoffs. So it could be the start of a great career for one of those 4 drivers if they're able to close out the deal here this afternoon. But if you join us this afternoon, we'll see you then. If you aren't going to be seeing you till tomorrow afternoon, hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. We've shown you your qualifying results, and we will see you guys either for the Lights finale later on today or tomorrow's Cup finale here from Michigan. Until then, though, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, offline racing at its best.